And just like that, we are back with part two. Let us keep on moving. Yeah, we have to do this thing because of YouTube, man. Can't upload like long videos without those people making scumbag stuff. But let's keep on moving.
Shooting over the weekend.
Oh, okay, all right. We already make this already.
In the town of Thornton on West McColmy Avenue at Thornton Road. KCRA 3's Lizzie Mitri has been following this investigation for us. Lizzie, deputies say this happened during a small gathering.
Ty, yeah, the San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office says the people were here at this park off McColmy Avenue and Thornton Road last night. You can still see where they were grilling before neighbors tell us they heard a lot of shots. At least 84 evidence markers dotted the crime scene after a drive-by shooting in Thornton left one man dead and 3 others injured, according to the San Joaquin Sheriff's Office.
Small neighborhood gathering that unfortunately devolved into gunfire.
One neighbor said it sounded like a machine gun, lots of shots very quickly, and 10 seconds later, the sound of another gun firing about 6 shots. It happened after 9:30 last night, but the investigation kept deputies on scene well into the morning, looking into what sparked it.
It's hard to say at this point, and we're not able to confirm anything right now about any possible motives or suspects.
While the sheriff's office wouldn't comment on it, neighbors are concerned the shooting is gang-related, saying a group of young people, some from other areas like Lodi and Galt.
Yes, gang related. You know, anything that they can't really explain. Oh, this is gang related. And the people that are watching them is, oh, thank God this is gang related. This has nothing to do with random son of a bitch coming out there and shooting each other. Okay, well, this is just like random. Yeah, this is gang related and things like that. Nah, the 70 Shepherd, Modelo, the 70 Shepherd, that's what's going on. Hey, judgment, man, judgment and the miss. San Joaquin County. Joaquin was the mother of Mary, right? Was the father of Mary, if I'm not mistaken. Joaquin, yes. Is that in Texas or California? Is it in Texas? Let's see. San Joaquin County. San Joaquin County. San Joaquin County.
According to Wikipedia, San Joaquin County, officially the County of San Joaquin, is a county located in the U.S. state of California.
Ah, California, all right. Yeah, YouTube pick up things weirdly, okay? 70 Shepherd, let's keep on moving.
As like Lodi and Galt regularly gather here at Veterans Memorial Park on weekends.
It's sad. I've seen a youngster before. It's sad though. Family, I respect him, always respectful, and the violence needs to stop.
One person who didn't want to be on camera.
Okay, this is the theme of the 90s. The violence needs to stop. Okay? Hey, the violence need to stop. That's what when things happen to our people. Violence need to stop. Say no to just say no when they're offering you drugs. Okay, just say no, and then you should be all right and stuff like that. Excuse. Just say no. The violence need to stop, man. Just say a few words, then we're good. All right. Okay, let's keep on moving.
Stop.
One person who didn't want to be on camera explained through tears the person killed was his 19-year-old cousin. He didn't give any other details about what took place here. The park borders a preschool and several people live nearby, many who are now feeling
19-year-old, and all the numbers, they're everywhere.
Feeling uneasy after seeing this in their small, typically quiet community.
We don't feel secure here, like what if I was out here while that happened? And we were actually walking out, we took a walk an hour before that. So we were just scared, what if that happened before? And what if it could have happened to me, my husband, my daughter, So it is scary living here knowing this kind of stuff happens,
Indeed.
The sheriff's office did say this was an isolated incident. They don't believe it was random or that the public is at risk as they...
No, the public is not at risk, of course not. Yes. Again, beloved, this is plague number 9, execution by the sword. All right, still a lot going on. All right.
Last month, the Sandy Springs woman fell to her death while walking with her dogs. Fox 5's Denise Dillon shows us what's being done to prevent something like this from happening again.
This is the official hiking trail, but people would often go this way as a shortcut to get to the trails on the other side. Now there's a closed sign and large logs blocking the path.
What I am currently walking is the trail, or the way that everybody traverses the cliffs.
A park ranger took this video as he navigated the treacherous, unauthorized trail along Vickery Creek at the Chattahoochee River National Recreation Area. It winds around to some cliffs with narrow ledges.
Pretty treacherous. I mean, they can be slick and definitely scary.
People, what they would do is they would try to connect A to B, and those cliffs are right in here.
Officials say last month a 46-year-old woman from Sandy Springs was with her 2 dogs on this trail when she fell 15 to 20 feet to her death.
46 years old, you know what to do. A lot of people are just falling and die, you know. This is crazy. But anyway, let's keep on moving.
Something happened that caused her to slip and fall and hit her head and then landed in the water.
Chief Ranger Justin Fisher says over the years, others have been injured using this unauthorized trail, and they've tried to stop people from using it in the past.
By using the closure signs, by using a split rail fence, and also by just putting some small debris on the trail to try to make it look like the trail doesn't exist.
None of that worked. So this time, they've put these large logs in place to block it off.
A bit more robust mitigations. So larger tree limbs, rocks, things that from the natural environment that will make that the social trail or the unauthorized trail blend in, so that when you come up to the intersection that used to exist, you know hands down that you're not supposed to go that way.
And I think having the sign there helps.
Yeah, that will help. That will help. Oh, it's fun that this fellow, you know, may put this shirt upon it. Now, brethren, those people don't care. It's just 82 don't like rules. They don't like people coming over there and tell them what to do. Okay? They don't like that. Now, this, of course, you know, she got the cross in there being all Christian. Of course, the cross is not yours. You know, the 4 element, you know. Anyway, but what you're seeing here in this man's chest, it's called Bigfoot, so to speak. Sasquatch, the Yeti, they're from the same family, you know, things like that. The other day, I was talking to a brother of mine and his wife who were discussing certain things, and a clue pop up talking about the Yeti and the Bigfoot. And I was talking to him based on the research that we have done and I have done. The so-called Bigfoot is not a wild animal or wild man. Okay, those are extremely advanced beings. They are part of advanced civilization. They have technology that are beyond anything you could possibly ever imagine. They just leave another dimension, and sometimes, just like we can pop up in their dimension, they can pop up in ours. Okay, so this thing that you see, this Bigfoot, is actually very intelligent. It's not something when you come up upon it you will try to help him speak language or he talk like they use perfect language. They use telepathy. They are very, very advanced, far more advanced being. And those beings, they were created. Okay, they not created in a fact as you know, the Gentiles make them and stuff like that, and that's not what that is. Okay, and our people back then had advanced medical, advanced stuff. Everything we were doing were advanced. Those are remnant of things our people used to have, and this thing is not violent, gonna come over there and kill you and stuff. That's not what they are here for. They are here as certain one of them are here as guardian. They are protecting certain places, and they are quite fast too. Okay, they couldn't go lightning speed. They are very, very fast. And one of the reasons why you don't hear the government make any things about them, you don't hear 83 always putting this thing right there in your face. They used to do that till they find out that, wait a minute, oh, okay. Oh boy, those things are not here for us. and they stop talking about it. Okay, Bigfoot is actually real, and then it's very intelligent. Those are intelligent creatures. If you in your life or any way you encounter Bigfoot like creatures, you don't yell, you don't try to chase it, you don't try to run. If it come upon you, you communicate to him like you will communicate to another person. You ask him his or her name, and ask him, what are you, where you come from, and what do you have, what can you teach, what kind of things, what kind of wisdom you have over there. They are highly intelligent. Okay, let's go ahead and finish with that.
Just stay on the path. You'll be safe.
Chief Ranger Fisher says he hopes this will work. Otherwise, they'll have to do something more permanent. In Roswell, Denise Dillon.
Yeah. All right, let's keep on moving. The next one.
Breaking at 9, troopers are investigating a deadly crash just off of the turnpike in southwest Miami-Dade. Troopers say a male driver has died after crashing his vehicle into an old and abandoned toll booth. The building now left with a giant hole. This happened in the southbound lanes of the turnpike, right at the exit ramp onto Bird Road.
Yeah, so a lot of things going on, a lot of crash, a lot of ley lines. I don't even talk about this thing anymore because it's just so much, okay? It's just all over. Let's keep on moving.
Happening off of the coast of Half Moon Bay. The Federal Aviation Administration says a small plane on the way from Santa Rosa to Honolulu, Hawaii, crashed around 2:15 this afternoon. Late tonight, we got word that the National Transportation Safety Board is investigating the crash, and it reports this crash happened about 40 miles off the coast of Half Moon Bay. Initial information indicates that 2 people were on the plane. Investigators have not commented on their condition. We're also working to try and figure out exactly what kind of aircraft went down. There was conflicting stories as we were learning some more information. As soon as we get some more information about this crash off the coast of Half Moon Bay, where reportedly 2 people were on board,
we'll let you know. Again, remember Half Moon Bay. There's a lot of plane crash lately, man, and people don't talk about this. Remember Half Moon Bay, the ley line switch, this thing crashed with it. Half Moon Bay, remember the shooting the guy did during the Chinese moon, Luna, or whatever that was. And, this fellow, he went to the ball dams, and then he killed all those people. Remember that? Well, it happened close to Half Moon Bay, quarter moon. Let's move to the next video.
A Glendale community horrified to learn that a 2-year-old boy, Braxton Lopez, was killed yesterday. It appears he suffered a long history of abuse at the hands of his mother and her boyfriend. We must warn you, the details in this case are disturbing.
I instantly got sick. I'm a grandma. My grandson is approximately the same age. Just horror. Absolute horror.
Glendale police say this couple, Johnny Brazel and Layla Lopez, both 20 years old, murdered Lopez's 2-year-old son.
Braxton was trying to take down a blanket that was covering a window, which is a very common thing for a child to do. And Brazel came into the room and punished him for doing so.
The punishment ended Braxton's life.
And what he admitted to was picking up Braxton by the leg and dangling him in the air. He then took a belt and began to hit Braxton with it repeatedly all over his body. He also, while holding him by the legs, threw him against furniture, causing significant injury to his head. And then he proceeded to drop Braxton from about 2 or 3 feet above the ground onto his head onto a hard floor.
Investigators say Brazel then left the home to take another child to a doctor's appointment. During that time, Lopez did not call 911, even though Braxton was struggling to breathe.
The story was fabricated between the both of them. They had created this plan together as a couple.
Now, let me say something here, man. There is a lot of anger in family. There's a lot of anger, especially in those young adults. Again, anybody that can do something like that, you're not all people. Those are Samaritans. Okay, you beat this child to this extent, you drop him on his head, and he had problem breathing, and you didn't bring him to the doctor or whatever, and you didn't do anything. He died, and then you people show no remorse. and things like that. Most of those people out there, brethren, they don't need children. They don't need to have them. They hated them because they grow up like that. They grow up hating kids. They grow up hating children until they have them. They hate them more. They abuse them and beat them. This is not something that just happened randomly. It's happening daily, and it will continue happening. Okay? And you can see the hatred in there. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But hey, great glory to the mighty one. This is his will.
2 hours after Braxton died, Brazil called police and told them Braxton was attacked by a pit bull, but his injuries showed a long history of abuse. Surveillance video revealed there was no pit bull attack.
When they were confronted with these discrepancies, Brazil admitted to killing Braxton.
Brazil's 2-year-old son and a 2-week-old baby the couple share also lived with them. Neither child had any injuries. Both are now in state custody.
I can't imagine anybody doing anything like that to any other human being, especially somebody that cannot defend themselves.
Yeah,
it's just not right.
Great glory. A lot of Samaritans are going through this, man. Let's move to the next video.
Karen, the shooting causing major disruption tonight on the Red Line, with service halted at one point to several stations after a man was shot multiple times while riding a train. This shooting happening around 8 o'clock tonight. Police say a man and woman, both in their mid-30s, got into an argument on the train, and that woman pulled out a gun and shot the man in the left arm and right hip. The fire department says he was taken to Northwestern Hospital, where his condition has been stabilized. That woman, police say, ran from the platform of the Roosevelt station and was arrested around the corner on Wabash. We talked to another rider who was on that northbound Red Line train in a different car from where the shooting happened. He describes what he saw after the train pulled into the Roosevelt station.
We just heard stop, somebody saying stop it. Then we heard the K9s barking, and after that, one of the K9 officers came towards the front of the train and told everyone to get off the train. And it's crazy, because it could have been me, and a lot of more people could have got hurt, but it's just shocking to me.
Video here at the scene shows a woman apparently in handcuffs outside the station. Police say they did recover a handgun belonging to the alleged shooter. Red Line service for a time was suspended between Fullerton and 63rd Street. CTA was running shuttle buses for riders, but around 9:30 tonight, we are told that normal service was restored. But a lot of riders inconvenienced tonight, some shaken up following that violence on the Red Line.
What? Questions remain over whether 4 children have survived a plane crash in Colombia. 16 days after a plane went down in the South American country, authorities say they have clues that 4 kids, aged 13, 9, 4, and an 11-month-old baby may be alive in the Colombian Amazon. They've reportedly been cared for by a group of indigenous people who live nearby. The president of Colombia said in a now-deleted tweet, "Finding these children is a joy for the country." President Gustavo Petro now says the information provided could not be confirmed. He goes on to write, "The military forces and the indigenous communities will continue in their tireless search to give the country the news it is waiting for, and that the children's lives are the most important thing." On May 1st, a Cessna 206 light aircraft disappeared from radar over the Amazon rainforest. The pilot had reported engine problems. After the crash, the remains of the pilot and the mother of the 4 children were found, but there were only clues that the children may have survived. Army and Air Force personnel say they found a baby's bottle, a pair of scissors, and half-eaten fruit, but heavy rains hampered the search. Army helicopters delivered messages to the children, hoping they could be heard below.
No están solos, en casa los esperan.
Colombia's Institute for Child Welfare said it received reports the children were in the care of locals on May 17th. Despite the president's initial tweet, there has not been visual confirmation of the children's well-being.
Okay, this is the ley line. A lot of stuff happening out there. So, hey, a lot of plane crash, and nobody want to talk about this. So, great glory, great praise. We'll see.
Miami police releasing a critical clue after a man was drugged and robbed after a night out.
We're now seeing video of the woman police are looking for. And Local 10 News reporter Rosh Lowe is live with all the expensive jewelry she allegedly got away with. Rosh.
This case is unique, and let me tell you why in this sense. This woman, say cops, got away with $600,000. That's right, $600,000 $600,000 worth of Rolexes and jewelry. We've seen these cases before, but cops say they have very clear images of this woman and they really want to catch her. It's 5:30 a.m. and into the elevator we go. This guy, who's been blurred out, has brought this woman home. Take a look at her. They met at a bar, according to police, named the Dirty Rabbit in Wynwood. And then cops say this woman did him dirty to the tune of $600,000.
This is oh man, talking about cookie, talking about mistaking a bakery shop for a butcher shop. I don't have my slide whistle with me. My daughter was playing. She took my slide whistle. I had it. No, sir. No, sir. This is not a professional baker. This is a professional butcher, sir. This woman has the same tools that you have, sir. This is not a typical, genuine woman. She have an oven without walls, okay? A natural woman have a oven with walls and heat and everything, and she doesn't. Most likely, she doesn't have an oven. Getting into a fight with this fellow is a sword fight, sir. Nah. This can't be a genuine woman. No, sir. 600K. Nah, you were robbed by Transformers, sir. That's what happened here.
Worth of Rolexes and jewelry.
These are super clear images of her. We know that somebody's going to see her.
No, not only those images were super clear, they were super revealing. Yeah, a giant Adam apple, 6'4", on moving hips, broad shoulders. No, sir, no. Nah, when you open this door of this bakery, you see nothing but sausages, salamis hanging from the ceiling.
And either know that they were also a victim of her or that they know who she is.
Police say after having one drink with the woman at his apartment, the guy fell asleep. Cops say he wakes up at around noon to quite the surprise. His safe open, jewelry missing, and the female gone.
No, sir. Look, women don't act like this. This is not women mannerism. There is something natural about when women are moving, when they commit a crime and they will move around. You will see the womanism in them. You will see the womanness in them. Sir, this is not what we are seeing here. You can see the shoulders, the way the persons carry. Oh man. Anyway, man, we were just talking about this the other day, but this watch the mannerism, okay? Watch the mannerism. Let's put the video on slow motion right here. Where is it? Let's put the video on slow motion. Playback speed. We'll say about 75. Is that what that is?
After having one drink with the woman at his apartment.
Okay, we'll put it at 25. Okay. Now look at the way this person is moving. Okay. This is not womanism. Look at the shoulders. Look at the hands, how long the hand is. Look at the nose, the eyes. Look at that massive Adam apple right there. There's a reason why they call it Adam apple. Okay, this Adam, sir, does not have a wound. It's not a woman or woman. This is something else. Okay? All right? That's what that is, my good sir. That's exactly what that is. Oops.
Hand. Now, sometimes she might say, oh, well, she's just leaving with a solo cup. No, she's taking...
Look at this. This is not... okay, this is not womanism. There's no womanness in there. Okay?
The solo cup that she drank, because it has her DNA, she's taking his solo cup because it has not only his DNA, but it also has whatever drug she put in it.
She took off, but her images are there for all to see. Listen to what she took off with, according to police.
Okay, that could be a she, sir. Look at this. This area right here. This is planted. Okay? This is not grow as natural as it's supposed to. Good, sir. I don't know how. You can see the mustache line. You can see it here. You know, this dude, I don't know what's going on with those men out there, dog. They just take anybody home. As long as they can get something, they bring anybody to their house. We discussed this here, friend. You don't bring anyone to your home. If you're planning to do anything, any dirt, go do it somewhere else, not in your home.
A Rolex Daytona Rainbow with diamonds, Sky Dweller Rolex, gold chain, Franco gold bracelets, Cartier sunglasses, and a rose gold diamond ring. Quite the haul.
Yeah, whatever, dawg. That bakery has sausage in it, sir. A giant salami hanging from the ceiling, you know. Nothing but meat in there, sir. This woman of yours have a third leg, just like you do. That's what that is.
We are following the tragic murder of 3 people at a home in Layton. Police say the suspected shooter killed his wife and in-laws.
Police first got the call before 10 this morning, and they've been on scene investigating ever since. This happening a few blocks away from the Layton Fire Department, which is where we find ABC4's Northern Utah correspondent Kate Gardner, who's been at the scene today. And Kate, what's the latest?
Yeah, I have been at the scene all day today. So just a little while ago, the police actually confirmed that this is a triple homicide. They say this is a case of domestic violence. It's happened at the home you see right behind me. This is the 1800 block of Gentile Street here in Layton. Now, there's still not a...
You can't make this up. You can't make that up. 1800 Street. 1800 of Gentiles. This is in Utah. Let's listen to this again, all right?
Actually confirmed that this is a triple homicide. They say this is a case of domestic violence. It's happened at the home you see right behind me. This is the 1800 block of Gentile Street here in Lake.
Gentile Street. You can't make this up, man. You can't, all right? All right, let's keep on moving.
Now, there's still not a whole lot of information the police can give us at this time, but that is a big update. They are naming the 3 victims.
As far as I was concerned, they was 2 of the happiest married kids in the world.
Neighbors react to the news of a homicide.
Things to happen in other neighborhoods, not yours.
The 1800 block of Gentile Street is closed to traffic.
Of course, 1800, you know what to do. Gentile Street, you know, closed for traffic. Hey, you know what's going on.
Neighbors say it's a quiet area. This morning came as a surprise.
What is going on?
Layton police say 34-year-old Jeremy Bailey called 911 around 9:45 this morning, saying he had killed his wife and in-laws.
We know that there was a brief argument between the 2 of them, between Anastasia and Jeremy this morning. And that's really all we know. We haven't been able to determine a motive other than that.
Lieutenant Travis Lyman says Bailey was still in the home when police arrived. He exited the home unarmed and was taken into custody. Inside the home, officers found Bailey's wife, Anastasia Stevens, her father, Donald Stevens, and her stepmother, Becky Stevens. All had died.
We're still talking to Jeremy, but we're not getting a lot of information about what caused, what led up to this or caused him to do this.
Okay, all right. Let's see how many people that he took out. Let's see.
And her stepmother, Becky Stevens. All had died. He exited the home unarmed and was taken into custody. Inside the home, officers found Bailey's wife, Anastasia Stevens.
Okay, Bailey's wife, one, Anastasia Stevens. Is that what that is? That's her, right?
Her father, Donald Stevens.
Okay, her father, Donald Stevens, that's 2.
And her stepmother, Becky Stevens.
Becky Stevens, the stepmother, that's 3.
All had died.
We're still talking to Jeremy, but we're not getting a lot of information about what caused, what led up to this or caused him to do this.
Lieutenant Lyman says at this time, they do not know how each person died. Neighbors say this comes as a shock, telling me the couple often stayed to themselves, but offered a helping hand on occasion.
Well, yeah, they were friendly. Yeah, give me their names. If you never need anything, give me a call. I had their phone number.
I had him cut down a tree, and they do this ridiculous Halloween deal on their yard that's unbelievable, and then a Christmas deal that's unbelievable.
Now, all of the neighbors I spoke to actually talked about their holiday displays. They said the couple was kind of famous for that. One neighbor told me he heard that the couple was having some marital problems, and that's why the in-laws were in the home. Now, police weren't able to confirm or deny that information. The investigation is ongoing, and Lieutenant Lyman says at this time, it's really unlikely that the police will give us any more updates on the case today. Live in Layton, Cade Garner, ABC4 News.
Yeah, crazy, man, crazy things, and things like that, they're gonna keep happening. Of course, this is plague number 9, and sorrow, the 10 plagues of the apocalypse of Abraham is still brewing. Keep on moving.
Instead of
I have a theory, and a lot of things nowadays, people don't resolve, especially people that look like us, they don't resolve things through talking. When they get angry, they get in the car and they drive as fast as I can, and they go ahead and doing the argument, say, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna kill myself. Oh, I dare you, and then that person did. Remember a few months ago, I believe in Texas or California, there was a nurse, a black nurse, that had broken up with her boyfriend. She got into a car. She was speeding 250,000 million miles an hour. She crashed into a bunch of cars and into a gas station, went up in flame. She survived, and every single person that she crashed into did not survive, including the little newborn baby. Because that's how those women deal with their emotion. Violently. And I can guarantee you, those are not our people. People that do these things, they can't be, not even 2/3, man. Those are Samaritan. Just went over there and killed a bunch of people for no reason, and they killed themselves. Well, luckily, the mother and the daughter went out like that, okay? I am just assuming. It could have been an accident. Could be the ley line. Don't know. I'm just saying. Okay, now you see the whole thing. You can see how this could not be our people. You can see how this person was going to cause a lot of great harm to our people. It is always a snitch. It's always somebody that look like us that come in the midst of us and acting like, hey, we are with you guys, and then put dirt on our people and then take our people down. That's what they do. Positive, but the women, the mother and the daughter, somebody was upset because they got a B in their report card, and they decided to take a ride somewhere, and then boom, this happened. Hey, great glory, man. And again, you can see this. Now you see a lot of them are saying, hey, I've been here for 25 years. I don't want to be here. Something like that happened close to home. They shouldn't be happening here. They weren't happening here. They don't used to happen here. They used to happen in their neighborhood. Those people, it's the low income. It's because they're low IQ. They're stupid and all that. They're not smart. And the moment it happened once in the neighborhood, like, oh, hey, hang on, man. I've been living here for 25 years, and I'm not going to be, I'm out of here. Remember the other fellow, that guy that had that condo over there in Miami, and the weeds, the seaweeds coming and messed up the whole stuff, dude. Like, well, I've been living here for 25 or 27 years. I think I bought wrong. I should have bought another place. Yeah, whatever, man. Yeah, so that's what's going on, man. These things, the shooting, the sword, again, it's plague number 9 right here. Execution by the sword, of course, plague number 5. Destruction by the sword also. It's everywhere, and a lot of people are definitely afraid, and they don't know what's going on. And we told them what's going on. This is Esau's trouble, 83 tribulation, and the judgment is upon this earth, and it's happening everywhere. You cannot escape it. There will be no Jacob's trouble. Be at peace. And we got next. That's all it is, man.
And developing now, a deadly triple shooting in a Pompano Beach neighborhood.
Deputies say one man died and 2 others were injured, and now they are working to learn what led up to that shooting and who pulled the trigger. Local 10's Cody Weddle joins us live now with reaction from neighbors in that area. Cody.
And a terrifying start to the weekend here for neighbors in this Pompano Beach neighborhood. The Broward Sheriff's Office is telling us that 3 people were shot. 1 person later died, and neighbors here are saying this isn't the first time this has happened. 3 people shot and 1 killed in Pompano Beach. It happened at a home near Northwest 19th Street and Blanche Ely Avenue at around 10:30 Friday night.
We were watching the television last night and we heard a barrage of fire, gunfire.
Some residents, too scared to show their faces, saying they ducked for cover after hearing several shots.
It sounded like an automatic rifle, but it was a repeating gunfire.
The shots coming from outside this home on 19th Street.
Yeah, this is like the 3rd time in the past, year and a half?
People who live nearby say several shootings have happened here recently. We knocked on the door of the home, a bullet hole visible in a front window. You don't want to? Do you know what happened? Can anybody here talk to us? Neighbors here just wanting some peace.
Pompano represent, man. Pompano is sister city with Fort Lauderdale. I used to work in Pompano and love it. Great people over there, man. But Blanche High School, I went there. Crazy place, man. Crazy place. Kodak Black from there, so I should tell you. A lot of backward Levites over there, man. Those people are backward, man. Yeah, Pompano is good, but hey, Negroes, the Samaritan and the 2/3, they're going at each other's throat, man. Crazy things.
After the consecutive shootings.
Me personally, I'm tired of it. I just want to go to work, come home, and live.
Yeah.
But
that's it.
I don't know. I just live on the wrong street.
Yeah, well, no, live on the wrong time. There's no such thing going to work and relax anymore, man. You barely can make it to work because you don't know which one of the son of a bitch is gonna go out work and start blasting people. You go home, you don't know which one of them again going to come and shoot randomly and kill you. This thing is all over, man. 4 men. You can't make this up. Gentiles Street, Shepherd Avenue, all that good stuff. There you go. I love this neighbor, Miss Evelyn Ferguson. Yeah. Thank you, Miss Evelyn. To try to cover up this thing, talking about something else. Thank you, Miss Evelyn. Drop that, with that ear of drop it. Yes. Thank you,
and
Miss
police
Evelyn.
say they have interviewed the
That's
person of interest, but so
they come and kill each other for money. Remember, that was another video. There was a dude who drove all the way from Oakland, California, and then go kill his brother that live in Utah. It's a money problem. Certain money things going on, and people they lost money, and then they get angry, they kill people. Of course, we remember in one of our previous video that we talk about the bank with belly up. The cryptocurrency, a lot of people lose money, and again, I may be saying this, but I would say there could be a possibility that the husband, like that one that we see in Fort Lauderdale, where this guy literally killed his wife and set the house on fire and then killed himself. The possibility could be that the wife could have enticed him to invest in cryptocurrency or some kind of weird investment they lost, and then they lost all their savings, and then they say, hey, I lost everything, I'm taking you and the house and everything. It could be that. A lot of those things are happening out there. It's over. Crazy things. Crazy things. All right. I'm not going to watch this. Let's keep moving to the next.
2 Spalding County parents are facing charges of child abuse and attempted murder after investigators say they locked their 10-year-old child in a bedroom for days with no food and no water. 11 Alive's Cody Alcorn is live for us this evening in Griffin. And Cody, we understand there were several other children living in that same home.
Yeah, Jennifer, we learned that there were 5 kids actually living in this 2-story home here behind me on Westminster Circle. There's the 10-year-old, which police say has been severely abused for years. But just moments ago, a neighbor told me there was a 14-year-old living here who they have not seen since January. During a news conference this afternoon, police would not directly talk about the possibility of that missing child, but said their investigation is still underway and it's very early in the process. What they did describe was horrific abuse to the 10-year-old boy living with the Shinleys. Warrants state not only did Krista and Tyler Shinley put old bruises and new marks on this child, but they say this kid only weighed 36 pounds. They say the couple was starving this child to death. On Friday, somehow the 10-year-old managed to escape and was found by a neighbor saying he was hungry and begging not to be taken back home.
We aren't releasing any photos of this child for obvious reasons, but I will tell you the photos are absolutely horrible. And anyone with a human heart that looks at them should be shaken to their core.
Crazy things, man. Crazy.
It is a heartbreaking case how anyone could do this to a child. Now, coming up at 11, I talked to a neighbor. I'm actually standing in their yard right now. They had a very bizarre run-in with this couple and this child that is missing right after that major tornado hit this area back in January. Wait till you hear what they said and why they think something more sinister may have happened inside this home here behind me.
All right, Cody, we'll see you again tonight at 11. Thank you, sir.
All right, hopefully. Oh, that was 4 days ago. Anyway, so that's what happened. The Samaritan and the Gentiles, they are killing and abusing their children, man. Crazy things.
A middle school teacher in Mansfield is accused of a shocking act of violence.
With the fentanyl crisis showing no signs of slowing down, another dangerous drug is starting to show up in Colorado.
Yeah, it's a horse tranquilizer. It's been dubbed the zombie drug, and it's being mixed with other substances. Colorado has seen a sharp increase in overdose deaths over the last decade. From more than 800 in 2011 to nearly 1,900 in 2021.
Yet no one ever talk about this. They act like this thing, the death, the overdose, is stopped. I stopped. So remember when our beloved sister Lisa Cabral was making video back in 2013, 2014, when she was making the video specifically in 2014, when that thing was at its highest peak, okay? In 2014, when the sister was making videos, and 14, 15, she had the first channel, I believe, back in 2013. They had shut that down, and she had multiple orders, which they kept shutting down until she fought against them. That's when that thing was at its peak. And they only had like 838 deaths in Boulder, Colorado. The reason why I take Boulder, because there was a MS that happened there a few years ago at the King's supermarket, and a lot of those things. And then now in 2020, that's in 2021, not even in 2023, they like 1,881. And this area is strictly 83's, or a few Samaritans in there, but it's strictly 83's. Okay, 1,800, man. It's a lot of people dying from this thing. But hey, just say no. That's what you did to us. It's happening to you.
The last year, state data is available to us. Well, Alan Janae covers some of the most important stories in Boulder and the foothills for us. And Alan, that new drug has been found there, and of course it is a big concern.
Absolutely, Karen. You know, xylazine has been mixed in with the illicit drug supply on the East Coast for years, moved to the middle of the country, and apparently now here. It was first noticed after the arrest of a man in Longmont. He was brought into the Boulder County Sheriff's Office and stopped breathing. He had to be taken to the hospital for a drug that is not an opioid, but in many ways worse.
Near the bench shell downtown where people sit in the evening, the conversation comes up.
Everything sounds scary to me.
Xylazine, or tranq, has made it to Boulder County. You think that kind of stuff is out here, like tranq?
I'm
not for sure. I don't.
Nah, those guys are on this thing. I mean, look at this dude face, man. I mean, look at this dude. All right, let's listen to the question. Listen to the question. Look at the other dude.
Xylazine, or tranq, has made it to Boulder County. You think that kind of stuff is out here, like tranq?
I'm not for sure. I know a lot of people that do blues and stuff like fentanyl, but I'm not for sure if Tranquil is actively out here or not. I don't know.
The other dude, the other dude said this thing is there. It's low key. Actually, we are on this thing. We come here to buy that thing, you know. The other dude is like, yeah, that thing is here. You know, it's here. You know, they didn't want him to talk, but hey, man, that guy told you the truth, man. That hish is here, man. You know, hey,
Made it.
I'm on this hish.
You think that kind of stuff is out here, like Trank?
I'm not for sure. I know a lot of people that do blues and stuff like fentanyl, but I'm not for sure if Tranquil is actively out here or not. I don't know.
It's been down here low key, just like people don't want to talk about this hish, man. You know, those dudes been using and selling that hish.
County has put out a warning.
What do you see coming down the tracks here?
I think we're starting to see the very beginnings of what we will be dealing with, and especially in the next coming months, years.
Experts like harm reduction specialists Kelsey Wegman and Madeline Evanhoff understand why it is mixed in with other drugs already well known.
Fentanyl creates a very powerful high, but it's a very, very short high. So what xylazine does is it gives the high what we call legs. So it's a more marketable product, right, if it's extending the high.
Like fentanyl, it is a central nervous system depressant, slowing heart rate and, in overdoses, halting some of the body's critical messages.
Somebody's breathing becomes depressed and is no longer there.
Narcan does not stop it, but experts are telling users to carry Narcan because in case of overdose, it can help with some of the deadly effects of one drug as another threat sneaks into the supply to cause more havoc.
And I think the reality is oftentimes people don't know.
No, it's not that. It's not the reality they don't know. They do know. Sometimes, which is most of the time, they ask for it. They can get the same kick they used to get from the one that they had before, and then they need the new thing, the Trank, the zombie drug. They need this thing, man. It's in Boulder, Colorado. The other dude like, yeah, man, you here, man. What's up with you? You know, that issue's here. You know, so yeah. Huh. All right then.
The Macomb County prosecutor, Pete Lucido, said he couldn't comprehend why someone would just walk up to another human being and stab them. 2 people stabbed by Shane Burns, allegedly, one of them fatally. We understand from Pete Lucido that apparently has said so far nothing to investigators about why he would do something so heinous.
As a result of the videos, you can even see this individual walking 4 steps away and then coming back to slash her throat.
That is the way the Macomb County prosecutor says Shane Burns would eventually kill Cheryl Ryan Pursley as she filled her tire with air in Roseville, stabbing her 10 to 12 times. And about 13 minutes.
Stabbing her 10 to 12 times. For no reason. He just walk up onto her and then stab her 10 to 12 times.
Minutes later, Burns would stab a man in St. Clair Shores, also multiple times. Thankfully, he survived.
It is a shame. It is sad. It is just horrific what has happened here.
The prosecutor says the stabbings were very brutal, but apparently random.
Why does somebody get up at that time of the morning or maybe been up all night? Was he medicated? Was he not medicated?
Again, anytime things like that happen, it's always, let's look, was he on drug? You know, did he forget to take his drug? If he was on drug, we will blame the drug. If he was not on drug, we will blame him for not taking his drug. His medication, of course. You know? It's always one way, people not looking like, wait a minute, those things are happening because of the thing we have done to the Hebrews, to the children of God, the children of the light, the brothers and sisters of the light, the people that were supposed to bring us closer to the light. This is retribution. This is, you know, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that he shall also reap. That's what happened.
We can get into all the particulars, but it's still ongoing as to what was the motive in this case.
The 31-year-old suspect with a lengthy rap sheet that may have portended or at least was in line with his eventual alleged behavior.
The prior criminal history that he had in this case, Mr. Burns, shows that there has been assault of nature as well as weapons in the past.
Warren police would eventually take Burns into custody.
Yet this guy was allowed to roam the street, He didn't spend 400 years in prison, just like that brother over there in Florida, Miami. He spent 400 years for a robbery. He was the getaway driver. He was serving a 400-year sentence. Crazy.
The prosecutor says once he got to the Roseville Police Department, he began biting at his wrists. An officer ordered him to stop. He tussled with that officer and reportedly grabbed a knife, slitting his own wrist. A search of Burns' vehicle turned up guns and ammunition. Burns is charged with 8 counts.
So he's lucky he didn't use the ammunition. He didn't use the firearm. He used another weapon, a knife. But nonetheless, he took out her life, Took out her life. To kill this woman, she was just putting air in her tire, and this guy come up onto her and stabbed her 10 to 12 times. And then went and then find another fellow and stop that guy. And people are saying this behavior is because, he has mental issues and stuff. No, that's not what that is.
Including first-degree premeditated murder. Burns is being held on $10 million cash surety bond. A probable cause hearing is scheduled for May 31st. Hillary Golston, Fox 2 News. The Macomb County prosecutor, Pete Lucido, said
All right, then. So where did this happen? Detroit? Is that what that is? Not quite sure. But anyway, let's go with Glory.
Tell him that I love him one more time.
3 words Josephine Boyd will never be able to tell her nephew Matthew Ballesteros again.
He was a very loving, caring, sweet, just always, even from when he was little, just so caring and helping his mom with the kids.
She says Matthew was having a barbecue with a couple of friends at an apartment complex near 39th Avenue and McDowell Road on Saturday, but just before midnight.
He went outside to call his mother to come pick him up, and he ended up getting shot in his shoulder and in his head.
Matthew was rushed to the hospital where he held on to his life.
We had to take him off of life support on Mother's Day, and he was already gone from his injuries.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
Phoenix police say early information indicates the suspect was in the group with Matthew. Josephine is in disbelief that it could have been one of his friends.
Indeed. We're going to go a little bit into that.
That's the hardest thing, because all these young kids are just out hurting each other, and it's just so devastating.
Shooting and are still looking for the suspect. So if you know anything that could help in this case, you are.
To the young people listening, to the old and the children listening, be very careful around so-called friends, especially when they invited you to so-called barbecues and parties. In fact, I'll tell anyone, if you need my advice or my suggestion, you don't go to none of this nonsense, because this is not the time for this. The time to go to party and enjoy time with friends has long passed. This is the time of reminiscence, the time of study, it's time to be alone, a time to be extremely careful, man. And I'm not preaching our people to be introvert by force. Some of us are introvert by nature. We just don't like being around a bunch of people. Doesn't mean we hate people. We just don't like to be around a bunch of people. We be with people. We be around people. We went to school. We went to work. We drive. We ride the public transportation. We be around. We shop with other people. We have no problem with that. But being in the midst with them all the time? No. See, a lot of friends, they are jealous of you for any little things. I've given multiple examples of how friends growing up got other friends killed, murdered, beat for minor petty things. This fellow right here was in a barbecue party with his friend, and turned out the suspect could possibly be one of his friends, and they shot and killed him. People are jealous for any little thing that you have. You bought a car, not even a brand new car, dog. You don't ride the freaking bus anymore. You bought a freaking car, you get killed for that. Okay? You get killed for that. You had a bicycle, you don't ride it anymore, you got a bus card, or you can take the metro, the train, you get killed for that. You rent a place for yourself, or you have the ability to buy a house or get a new job, a better job. Hell, you have a woman or a man liking you, they kill you for that. Remember there was a shooting over there in New York where a young lady was driving a white BMW or Benz. She just get out of the car. She calmly walked to a woman, shot her in the head, and then shot her 2 more times while she was on the ground, get in her car, and come to Florida. Out of spite and jealousy. Gossip, people saying things. The moment you are in the midst of a bunch of people, you're in trouble. Always avoid people that always in their phone discussing, gossiping about other people's business. They are dangerous. If you have a friend or family member, or sibling or offspring that always on the phone talking about people, or they like watching TV shows that talking about like, he is the father, she is not the mother, he is this, oh, relationship this, relationship, they like gossip, they like talking into people's business. And when they cannot find this high, they cannot find this drug, they'll make it. They'll make words. They'll make up lies. They'll get people killed for no reason. Friends are jealous, man. Jealousy. If you are a subscriber or just you want to stumble upon this video, anytime friend is inviting you for a barbecue and stuff like that, nope. I have a doctor appointment. I have something to do. I had to go to work, but I can't come. But just plain saying, man, I can't go, man. I got a lot of stuff I'm dealing with. And you do. You do have a lot of stuff you're dealing with, man. You need to deal with your mental state, your mental issue. You need to deal with that. It's something that we told the nation. That's why we don't go on live anymore, do prayers. We are working in our mental state. We are working in our physical state. And we are working in our astral state. You need to work on all your 3 bodies. And this is time for you to spend time with yourself, not with friend and barbecue, man. You don't know what those people are thinking, man. Some dude got a little drink in him. Some girl got a drink in her. And then the true demon come out. And then they show you the true color. Okay? I would say avoid being in the midst of all that.
Deon Lim is in the newsroom for us with the story tonight. Deon?
Dan, 64-year-old Ms. May Ran, whose family says she had never spoken to 41-year-old Jesus Esparza due to a language barrier. Esparza is the man arrested for her killing. Along with our media partner, the SF Standard, we went in search of answers to the question, how was this able to happen?
She epitomizes what the great contributions that immigrants make to our city and to our country.
Yes, of course. Anytime it's things like that, let's put like how great those people were or are or still is or will be. You know, let's say this woman was like so-called a Haitian. Oh yeah, she didn't know how to read, she didn't know how to talk, you know. No contribution there. She's not an epitome or anything. And I despise when they come here and they have a better opportunity than you. They were provided an opportunity or an environment than you, than people that are been there, than brethren that come here, than people that are come here for positiveness. They are blocked out of everything. And then they elevated those people above you, and then when something happened and something like that happened, like, well, she was this, she was that, she was this, she was that. No, she wasn't.
She should not be forgotten.
The sadness felt by Olga Miranda is over the stabbing death of 64-year-old May Ran Hu on May 6th in her low-income housing unit along Dubose Avenue.
Let's see the house again, 462. Is that what that is? Let me see.
Unit along
Dubose apartment? Dubose or Dubois? 462. You know what to do. You do your thing, man. It's everywhere.
Avenue. Miranda, the president of the janitorial union SEIU Local 87, is also frustrated by the way Ms. Hu was part of the union for many years, was killed.
Okay, those are the people that are part of the union and keep our people out. Okay, they form the union, they gang up on all of us. They kick our people out of the union, you know. They take all the best job, and the worst, they leave it for their people that they don't like in their own family. And then our people out of job and stuff like that, and then things like that happen, you know.
It could have been prevented, and more safety protocols could have happened so that she could have been here. She could still be with us right now.
Whose next-door neighbor, 41-year-old Jesus Esparza, was arrested and charged with her murder. According to Bridge, even though Esparza was not a senior, he qualified for low-income housing due to his disability, related to mental health, and lived at the property since 2017. At today's initial court hearing from
400 divorce. You can't make this up. 462, the 12. 400, Genesis 15, 13, 2017, 16, 17 to 2017. That guy would been living there since 2017. The 400 years was up back then. 2018, 2019, whatever you wanted, the 400 years is over, and this is what's going on here.
Mr. Esparza, his lawyer talked about his mental health, saying more investigation was needed to determine his fitness for trial. She further stated the family is really worried about him because he doesn't know what's going on, why he is where he is, or what happened.
Of course
this guy had no business being there.
Ms. Hu's niece is now asking for answers on why this happened in the first place.
Maybe something could have been done to prevent it. We also concerned about the safety of the city and everyone, live around here.
Bridge would not confirm if there were formal complaints filed about Mr. Esparza citing privacy, but many residents claim there has been a long history of issues.
It was my neighbor. He moved out of the building. Even after that, the gentleman was not removed. He absolutely should have been screened out of the process, definitely.
The San Francisco Housing Authority confirms they refer all residents to each property, but say it's up to building management to handle tenant complaints. Multiple residents told me they were afraid to speak out in fears of losing their coveted spot in low-income housing.
Yeah, that's what those people do. And you can see in this housing, they don't have that, they don't have our people there, so. And housing in San Francisco is quite expensive, man.
Supervisor Raphael Mandelman says Ms. Hu's killing illustrates a much bigger issue in the low-income housing industry in the city and calls for more preventative measures.
We need to much more intentionally be creating facilities for people who are going to need long-term placements for severe mental illness. So we're doing.
Raphael Mandelman. Raphael Mandelman. Raphael Mandelman. Great glory.
Doing now is not working. Having the counties responsible for these facilities and for the creation and maintenance of these facilities has not worked.
As for Ms. Hu's son and niece, they thank the community for their support of a GoFundMe to help with funeral expenses. And as they mourn, continue to grapple with the question of why. Now, the Janitors Union, which Ms. Hu was a part of, will be holding a rally next week to keep her memory alive and to call for change so this does not happen again. Esparza's public defender tells me her client's next court appearance will be June 12th. In the newsroom, Dion Lim.
Great glory, man. Let's keep it moving.
Local 10's Ian Margul is live with the very latest on the crash investigation. Ian?
Yeah, today we're getting to see body camera video showing police officers from Hollywood Police Department rushing toward this plane that was fully engulfed in flames. And we're also getting a chance to speak to some of the people who knew that pilot best.
I just said, Mitch, you kept us safe. Thank you. Rest in peace.
A memorial grows at the spot where Mitchell Noss died doing what friends say he loved most, flying.
Flying was his passion. He did like the adrenaline. He liked outdoors. And it's hard to imagine he's gone.
Noss was the pilot of the Banner plane that crashed on North Park Road in Hollywood on Wednesday. Catherine Artilio was actually in town at the time visiting him, and he sent her this text just before he took off to start working for the day.
He said, hey, I'll be flying a yellow plane today in Fort Lauderdale area. Beach is from 12:30 to 1:30, and then 2 to 4 on South Beach, Miami. If you're trying to see me fly or you're at the beach today, I'll be the only one flying the banners today.
At some point during that flight, Noms started losing altitude, and air traffic controllers got concerned.
Banner 0 Alpha Bravo, are you okay, sir? I'm showing you at 600 feet now. Yeah, I'm good now. 0 Alpha Bravo, starting to climb.
Only moments later, though, Noms got back on the radio, saying things were not improving, so he dropped the banner with hopes the plane would begin climbing again, but he couldn't regain control.
Oh my God, no way.
Unfortunately, Noms would die on the scene, and now National Transportation Safety Board investigators are working to figure out what went wrong, as friends like Armando Diaz cope with his loss.
I would like Mitch to be remembered as a respectful, kind-hearted person, hardworking, always courteous, thoughtful.
Yeah, happened right then, Broward. Ley line switch, man, crazy. What's going on with this thing?
Theft and organized retail crime are increasingly urgent issues, impacting the team.
Scenes like these are growing more common around the country. Target saying they lost an estimated $763 million in lost and stolen inventory last fiscal year, and that they expect crime-fueled inventory losses to jump by another $500 million this year. The company's CEO spelling out the struggle on an earnings call this week.
Theft and organized retail crime are increasingly urgent issues, impacting the team and our guests and other retailers. The unfortunate fact is, violent incidents are increasing at our stores and across the entire retail industry.
Headlines of major stores closing in San Francisco with employee safety considered. And now the mayor of New York City, Eric Adams, announcing a comprehensive plan to tackle the 44% uptick in retail theft in his city last year.
When someone witnessed the systemic
always put a bunch of Samaritan over there, put them in the front, make sure they are there to explain why they are doing that, okay? And then our people will get emotional, and then they will suck up on their energy and vampirizing our energy. Those are Samaritans, okay? Those are not our people.
Thefts that you're watching in our establishment, it hurts the entire economic stability of the city.
The city also reporting that 327 repeat offenders were responsible for more than 6,000 retail theft arrests in 2022, and other executives at big box stores like Walmart and Lowe's also calling out the emerging shoplifting threat.
Theft is an issue. It's higher than what it's historically been.
I've been doing this for 32 years, and I can honestly tell you we've not seen anything to this degree in the past.
And Target says the problem is only getting worse.
Target says it's on track to lose more than $1 billion in inventory this fiscal year, even as locations keep beauty products like shampoo and lotions under lock and key.
Even laundry detergent is locked up with metal cords at some retailers, and cameras abound trying.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the
and cameras abound trying
shampoo and lotion.
That's professionally done. All right, let's give a little backstory here concerning Target. Now, beloved, everything that you're seeing here, they are happening because of the things the 83 have done unto us. The thing that they had planned. What they done, beloved, they came in our neighborhood. We were working. Everything were working well with us. They noticed something back in the 60s, in the 50s, late 50s, 60s, when our people were fighting them, and they start to get better. They get a job, and they were working. In 65, 66, 67, they were working in the 70s. Our people explode. Their music, their influence were going more and more. So they decided to do something. They know for a fact that if a man doesn't have his wife by himself, he doesn't have a job, and he can't get a job, and there's drugs, they will either sell drugs or use drugs, and if he cannot sell or use drugs, he will steal. So they made it a way. They ship all the jobs out there overseas in the 70s, and they start doing this. In the 80s, it really took off with Mr. Ronald Reagan, And what they did, they shipped all the jobs out. All the good jobs, of course, the retail jobs, the low jobs that our people were doing. And they kept all the high executive jobs that they had, they keep it to themselves. And they were pumping the drugs in the neighborhood, in our neighborhood, causing our people to destroy themselves, and they building prison and put our people back into slavery. That was their plan. Now, this thing backfired. And a lot of them, if not all of those things that are being done out there, are being done by 83. Most of our people are not going to go nowhere near this. They won't do things like that. It's 83, barely some 2/3, but 83 and Samaritans are the one doing this. Now, the reason why I take Target, it is because I used to work at Target. Back in 2008, there was a brand new Target that opened in University Drive in Coral Spring. Brand new Target. I was the first guy that applied, and I was among the first people that were ever employed over there. When I started working over here, the Target was mainly in a white neighborhood, and mostly 99.99% of the people that come and shopping there, they were white folks, so to speak. And what I noticed, the people that they were arresting, the people that they were not arresting, catching, stealing, they were almost at all time 100%, not almost. I never seen them caught any skin folk or kin folk. It is always white folks that they always caught stealing. That was back in 2008 when the economy crashed, when things was somewhat bad. It was them. And a lot of those people, they dress nice, they dress good. And they even had something on YouTube here. I don't know if they still have it. I used to watch it a long time ago. Target store shoplifting camera or whatever. Loss prevention. I say oops, Target, not shooting, shoplifting. Ah, boy. Shoplifting. There we go. Okay, look at this. 20 shoplifter hits Target stores 20 times, taking thousands in goods. I think they remove it for legal purposes, I believe. Target store loss prevention. Let me see. Woman demanding operation at Target. Punching, doing altercation. Well, they remove it. It was a group of people that the loss prevention had, and they will put the videos online showing the guys, the people that were stealing all the stuff in Target. And is that the one right there? Okay, let me try that one. It seems it is. Let me try that one right quick. Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like it. It looks like this one. Okay, it looks like so. And when it came out, it was really, really bad. It was really, really bad when that thing came out. And most of it was happening in Coral Spring. You know what? Let me see. University Drive, Coral Spring. Oops. Spring. Let me see this. Coral Springs. Let me see. This dude probably took something. Yeah, I think that's the one in Coral Spring. Alright, that guy's not going without a fight. Alright, this dude is this dude is fighting, man. This dude ain't gonna go without a fight, dog. This dude ain't going without a fight. Anyway, so let me just stop right here. Anyway, most of the people, or 99, is that thing even recording right now? Is it? Yes, it is. Most of the people, if not all the people that were doing this, were white folks. And some of them get arrested and some of them get released. And I noticed something at Target. Target was different. Target was more like, hey, we white, we shop here, it's chic, it's beautiful, it's fabulous. Well, it's glamorous. That's the word I will use for it. And I will use this word because that's what they were doing over there, and that's how they were working over there. That's how the whole store was ran. They are very racist over there also. When I was working over there, I was the most racist place I ever worked was at Target, the one in University in Coral Spring. The manager, all the people that were working over there, they made it very clear blatantly they were very racist. And I stopped working for them because of that. I quit, and I didn't want to go ahead and complain to them. It's one thing I've never done. Go to the people and complain about things that they know they are doing. They're well aware of it, and say, oh, she or he shouldn't do this. I know they were working and tame them between each other. I just find another job. I left them. And I believe 10 years ago, 10 to 9 years ago, I went there, and I still see some of the people are still working there, working. Some of those people that were I started with ever since the store were open, they still working there. I saw them. They are working. They don't even recognize. I recognize them, but they didn't recognize me. I bought things. I come up to them. Those people that do stuff. I saw them. They all working. They drive the same old beat up car that they had. The same thing. They're still doing the same thing, and I pity them. Okay, so now targets are getting this hate. It's not by our people mainly. It's them. It's their own people. And they are all going down worldwide. Whether they are Target, Walmart, Whole Food, whatever. The whole economy is going down.
Literally choking in your sleep.
Okay, all right. This I'm not gonna play this because Law and Crimes. It's their footage. Okay, this councilman, he was arrested for smoking crack. Okay, he passed out in his car, so he wasn't brutalized. People, all the comments are, oh, this man, let me see. Big respect for the cop that said, a month from now, you'll think he is so real for that because I was so neck deep in addiction. And everybody, until they went through it, everybody like, big respect, man. Oh, I feel bad for the man. Imagine if all of us were recorded in our worst point on our lives. I bet it would be humble us. We will humble a lot of us. Everyone talks about mental health, but then in the same hand, some people make fun of things like this. Poor guy has a problem, and I hope he gets help and doesn't go into a deeper hole dealing with all the attention he's getting. We're all humans, and no one knows his story or how he got to this point. He needs compassion. This is what happened when it's them. A councilman smoking crack, pass out in his car. He being praised. People like, you got to understand this man, he went through this. He went through that, man. And the cop was so gentle with him, and they didn't beat this guy and kill him and put him in prison forever. Because it is them now. in the 80s, anything like that. You will not even catch a councilman doing this. If you even well, let's say that something like that happened in the 80s or 90s, or even now, if it was one of our black folk, the skin folk or Samaritan or whatever you want to call it, they would have made a great hyena out of it. Oh, those are the people. They need to pull themselves by the bootstrap. Well, there's nothing we can do about it because it's in the blood. They used to do that. They like to do this. In the 80s, they were doing it. That's until it's them. And now everybody need to understand this dude. They need to know what's going on. They need to do that. They need to do this. I can't play the video because they will claim it. So yeah, it's when it's them, compassion.
Property to get back and forth from their homes. KPRC2's Candace Burns went to the dumped house on Turner Drive in Malcolm in North Houston to find out who the home belongs to and why it was left abandoned in the road.
Right now, city crews are out on the scene trying to move this home over. This is the second time they've been out here. They were out once yesterday, just trying to move it a little bit out of the way so cars can get by. You can see that this is a headache and probably a hazard for drivers, but it's also a heartbreaking story because the couple who owns this home tell me they were trying to get it relocated to the trailer park down the street, but the company they hired to do the job clearly didn't finish the work. It's not every day that an entire house is dropped in the middle of the road.
Yeah, breaking my heart.
The property belongs to Hugo Narve and his wife Maria. They tell me they were forced to move their trailer when the land they were parked on was sold. They've lived in this home for 16 years, raised their children here, and didn't want to leave behind the memories. So they got a permit from the city and hired someone to relocate them.
Trailer, that was the best trailer.
The couple says they gave the towing company more than half the cost up front and paid a total of $1,300 to move their lifelong treasures. But during the move, they say the tow truck's hitch broke and 3 of the tires popped, sending their home flying. It landed in the middle of Malcolm Drive.
It blocked the entire way. It was parallel on our...
You people are going through a lot. I want to go
Daughter Kelsey, murdered early Wednesday in their home, a crime scene all day yesterday and today here in Roselle. An aunt in tears.
My daughter and her are 5 months apart. They're best friends. I don't know why I'm telling my daughter.
You haven't told her yet?
I'm not going to tell her until she has a competition. There's competition this weekend. I'll tell her after.
Natasha Scott is distraught over the killings and the horrific scene inside the home.
I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone right now.
Police tracked Keisha's brand new BMW to Maryland. The family told Evroy Morrison, Keisha's brother-in-law, was behind the wheel. He was arrested for stealing the car, but police won't say anything beyond that. The family says Evroy lived in the basement here for at least 2 years, and Keisha recently wanted Evroy out of the house.
I can't go into detail exactly what occurred, but I can tell you that she was not comfortable, and neither were my 3 nieces anymore with him being in the home, in the basement.
Roselle police responded to the home after Kelsey didn't show up for school, and the family couldn't find Keisha or her daughter. Police say there is no danger to the neighborhood. The family only knows this for sure on what happened here, at least about the killer.
He wrapped them up in their bed sheets, stuffed them underneath my niece's bed.
Keisha's husband, Gary, found a bloody axe between the mattresses in his bedroom, where his wife and daughter were apparently murdered. Former Mayor Jamel Holley has known the family for years.
Roselle community is definitely crushed into pieces. They're a hard-working, traditional class working family here.
Thanks for watching. What's going on with the NBC? They keep cutting things short. That means they are not editing this. It's being edited by AI. That's what it's cutting like that. It's being edited by AI. Most likely they are using Python. Yeah, so this guy, the family took him. They let him stay in the basement, and his behavior, his vibration wasn't matching theirs. They wanted him out. He said, oh, you know what? Y'all ain't gonna kick me out like that. He hacked them to death, stole their car, and then drive up to Maryland, I believe. From New Jersey to Maryland. That's why we told our people, man, there are a lot of 2/3 or Samaritan that are in the midst of you. Get them out. Get them out, you know. Don't face them with violence because they're violent people. They'll kill you. You know, that's why, people coming and saying, hey, man, can I sleep at your place and stuff like that? Nope. All right, so I'm not going to go too deep into this. This is a cyclone that hit Myanmar, and there was a lot of damage, and people, they are not reporting this, the flooding, and there was a flooding in Italy. Let me see. Flooding in Italy. Say Italy, but they put Italian, but anyway.
Flooding in northern Italy has killed at least 11 people and forced thousands more to evacuate their homes. The region has been battered by torrential rain, triggering floods and landslides. CBS News foreign correspondent Chris Livesay joins us now from Rome. Chris, officials say that over the past 36 hours, there are some areas there that have actually received half of their average annual rainfall in just this last period of time. I remember talking to you just a little bit ago about the area being in a severe drought. What's going on?
Well, Lana, you were probably talking to me, and I was probably standing in this exact same spot where I'm now. That was 10 months ago when there was a severe drought impacting northern Italy, but also Rome, where I am right now. In fact, the river behind me, the Tiber River, in 70 years, it had never gotten to such a low water level because of the severe heat and the severe drought. In fact, there were Roman ruins that were poking above the surface of the water. I could even walk on top of them in the middle of the river. That's how low the water had gotten. You hadn't seen that in centuries here. So the same kind of drought, even worse, was happening in northern Italy. And what that did was it dried up the soil so much that when these now tropical storms are hammering the area, it just doesn't have the capacity to absorb all of that water. It's kind of like doing some long overdue gardening, as I did just a few days ago. Poured some water into the pot and just watched it come right through the bottom. The soil was so dry inside it just couldn't soak it all up. That's what's happening in northern Italy right now.
See how they don't report on the situation, how poor those people are. Remember Katrina, and how, you know, low income, and how they are looting the place, which they are, how this or that. They don't say anything about this. You even hear of this thing in the news, right? Is that CBS News? You know, 47,000 views in 2 days. That thing had 4.88 million people watching it. You know, so. That's crazy.
Of bees in this swarm. A worker hospitalized, stung multiple times. They're thinking he is the one who got too close to the hive, threatening the bees, so they went on the attack. And then you have a civilian volunteer with LAPD. He's running from that swarm. The bees take him down. All of it's on video, and the video downright scary to watch. Have a look. Dramatic video from Skyfox shows the moment the bees swarm and attack. That's an LAPD civilian volunteer down there running from a swarm of angry bees. Look, he's swatting at them, getting stung, and then he loses his balance. Down he goes. He falls, hits his head right on the street. He's banged up, he's bleeding, but he's expected to be okay. All of this on the 17,000 block of West Adlon Road, just off Havenhurst in Encino. That is LA City Fire rushes in after a worker at this house is stung multiple times. He's rushed off to the ER, with firefighters calling it a massive, dangerous swarm. Hundreds of thousands of bees involved here, all traced back to a hive in the corner wall of this house. LAPD seals off the neighborhood, diverting traffic and urging everybody to shelter in place, to stay indoors with their windows and their doors closed. Professional beekeepers run in, working to slowly remove the infestation after a worker is thought to have gotten just too close to the hive.
He must have gotten too close to it without noticing them, and that's when they attack. And they could have been Africanized if it, you know, it sounds pretty bad if he had to go to the hospital. Or
okay, you know, our people have nothing to do with this. He shouldn't even say this. But then again, anyway, they could have been Africanized. That means the bee, there was an African bee that go over there and then co-opt all of them and kill all of them. Those were violent African bees. And this thing has nothing to do with But anyway, that's the term, Africanized. Just African bee that go ahead and killed the other bees and took over anyway.
Or he could have just been allergic.
This hours after the swarm, the sidewalk lined with all the dead bees. Look at them. Other bees, they're still circling around, heading inside that wall, trying to get to the hive. With the neighborhood still eerily quiet, nobody around, with all the homes still closed up tight, bringing this warning from a professional bee handler.
If you don't know what you're doing, if you don't have proper protection, you know, when you get too close to a beehive, you will get stung multiple times.
Now, let me close with this. You see, beloved, anytime you have a bee hive in your house, you don't remove it. You don't remove the beehive from your house. Use the bee, use it. Use the the honey. Don't take the bee out. It's not just bee, it's a blessing. Our people, the ancient taught us this. If you see there's a beehive in your house, give the Holy One praise and glory. Take the bee, take the hive, the honey. Leave the bee, leave it be. Leave it be. Great blessing will come upon you. Okay, thank you for watching, beloved. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you whenever the Mighty One says so. All right, shalom.